Ako na cheese hati de dachnach yuhan. Ach tuig eich satini. De chiagi aya ya yagi. At kadechit disi. Jin kat kanas kadu shuyaohi. Welcome in the two of you. So it's the second day of the week, Tuesday, and it's Atkadechit Disi or June, and 18 days have passed this month. So for today, we're gonna continue clan names of Huna and acknowledging clan names. We'll read a little bit about acknowledging your opposites from the beginning Tlingit workbook. And then if we get to it, we'll do a little bit of transcription, nothing too intense. So this month is Atkadechit and you can practice this. Repeat after me. Atkadechit.
Atkadechit.
Okay. That means the birth moon, the month that animals are giving birth. So last week we talked about clan names and we're focusing on the community of Huna because when I was on Canoe Journey, our hosts let us know which clans live in Huna or who are traditionally from Huna, so that if any of us on the boat who were speaking on behalf of our crew had in laws or relatives on our father's side, any of our opposites, then we could acknowledge them. So that's why we're focusing on Huna. My friend Skeiki, Heather Powell, is a Tlingit language teacher in Huna, and she worked with me and shared a lot of the names and gave me permission to share what she taught me. So the name for Huna, it's anglicized to Hoonah, but the traditional pronunciation is Huna. So go ahead and repeat this first word after me, Huna.
Huna.
Okay. Yeah, good job. And it means shelter of the north wind. So the north wind in Tlingit is Hun. So go ahead and say that Hun. Ah, ah. And then against it or shelter from it would be Niya.
Nia.
Ah. So that's where the name for Hunna comes from. You can see the second word has the longer spelling that's more literal, where we have hun and nia together. So let's try the second word, hunia.
Hunia.
Okay, good. The people of Huna are referred to as Hunakawu. So go ahead and say this after me, Hunakawu.
Hunachau.
Hunakawu.
Chau.
Yeah. And so the land of Huna has people which are the Hunakawu, and within all the people of Huna, there can be people of Raven clans or Eagle clans. And so let's practice the clan names on the Raven side. Repeat after me. The first clan is Dakdaintan.
Dakdaintan.
Next one, Uknech Adi.
Uchnachadi.
Okay, good. Kinedi.
Kinedi.
And Kach Adi.
Kachadi.
On the eagle side, we have, repeat after me, Wushkitan.
Ushkitan.
Kagwantan.
Hagwantan.
Te Kwedi.
Techwedi.
Shangukedi.
Shanguchedi.
And Chukanedi.
Chukanedi.
Okay, really
Could
good.
I'll offer a quick edit 1 second on
Yeah.
the spelling of Cogmontan.
Good enough cheese.
Uh,
What do you got?
oh, just an extra A at the end. T-A-A-N.
Good enough cheese. Thank you. So let's do this one again. Repeat after me. Ka guan tan.
Hagwantan.
Ah, okay. So when we went to Huna on canoes, our friend Shkeki texted us the landing ceremony protocol language that they were going to use when we came ashore. So in Tlingit culture, we don't just walk onto people's land that's not ours without asking permission. And so in every community we went to, they asked us, "Who are you?" And during that time, we would introduce, "We are the people of Cake." And then they would say, "Why do you want to come to shore?" And then we would, state our intentions. And then they welcomed us to shore, gave us water, helped us warm up, and just took really, really good care of us. Um, and Reiki was nice enough to text us ahead of time so we would know in Tlingit what was going to be said so that we didn't lose it in translation because it can be windy and rainy, and a lot of us are still learning Tlingit. And so, in order to do our best to say the protocol in Tlingit, she texted us. So, she gave me permission to share in class the language she sent, and I thought it would be fun for us to practice. And so, when we got to Huna, this is how it went. She asked this first question: "Where is this canoe from?" And above it in Tlingit, you can repeat after me: Gudach ayakusaya.
Gudach ayaw saya.
Okay. And then we said this canoe is from Cake. And so in this blank, we said Kich. So repeat after me: Kich dach.
Kichdach
And then ya goya.
ayaw aya.
Yeah, this canoe is from Cake. That's what we said. And then the rest is what our hosts in Huna said to us. You will all come ashore. So in Tlingit, repeat after me: Yande gachi kuch.
Yande gachi chuch.
Good. And then they said, here is the sandy beach. Yadu yakeu.
Yadu yachech luch.
Yeah, good job. This last word has a pinched L and it means sand. The whole word means sand. So let's try just that word. Ew.
Slim.
Good, nice. Sand. And then good sand would be these two words together. Yakeu.
Yak eich le.
Mm-hmm. I'm still working on my pinched L's too, so um, you're sounding good. And then this first word it means here it is. So let's do that word. Yadu.
Yadu.
Mm-hmm. So one more time, the whole phrase. Yadu yakeu.
Yadu yak eich leu.
Good. Here is the sandy beach, or here is the good sand. The reason they say that is that when we come ashore, we don't want to be hitting a bunch of rocks. And if you look in certain areas that are traditional Tlingit beaches, canoe landings, you can see all the rocks are moved. So they clear out areas if it's a rocky beach so that there's sections of just good sand where you can come ashore in your canoe without scraping up the bottom a whole bunch. So here is the sandy beach. Next one, they said we will give you fresh water, and they had bottles of water for everybody that they handed out so we could all drink up after paddling as far as it took us. And so this first word, repeat after me: he nak.
Hinach.
Yeah, he nak.
Hinach.
And then yi ji day.
Yichi day.
Gach tu shat.
Gach tuch lashat.
We will give you fresh water. And then this last line is really nice. We will warm your hands. So let's try the first two words. Yi jin.
Yijin.
That means all your guys' hands. Yi jin. And then we will warm it up. This is the last word. Gachtulata.
Gachtulata.
Yeah. So the whole line. Yijin gachtulata.
Yijin gachtulata.
Ah, okay. So this is how our landing went in Huna. We also landed at the end at Akrek, and Akrek's name in Lingit is Anchgaltu.
Anchgachtu.
Anchgaltu.
Gachtu.
And so they had a very similar protocol for us when we got there. Same thing. Asked where's this where's your canoe from? So the top line, repeat after me. Gudach sawayiyago.
Gudach sawayiyago.
And then we responded, you don't have to repeat this part after me because I don't have it written, but it was Kich dach ya goya kich kwan aya uhan. That we're from Cake. And then they said this line, which means, why have you come to their village? So Khune said this on behalf of the Agquan. And so the first two lines repeat, or the first two words repeat after me, mean why. Wanachsa.
Wanachsa.
And the next three words, hastu anide.
Hastu anide.
Yeah. Ya nai kuch. Yeah. So why are you moving by boat to their village or to their town? And then what was our next line? We asked if we could come ashore. We said we come in peace, and is it okay if we come ashore? And then they responded with this last line, the first two words, Yan yakuch.
Yan yakuch.
Wuch in.
Wuch in.
Yanach tusahi hit.
Yanach tusach hit.
Good. Ha kustiye.
Ha kustiye.
Yeah, our way of life. Ha kustiye. This suffix, this it at the end of the word, of the verb, gives it the meaning of for the sake of. So we'll look at this word. I'm going to look it up in front of you. I'll just do it now since we're looking at it. So if we go in beginning materials, we have the dictionaries, and then for the verb, let's see. Let's start here. I'll zoom in. And let's see what we find. Command F. Let me find the whole word. Yan tusahi hit. Yanach tusahi hit. So it has an S classifier. Yanach tusahi. I'm going to look in the dictionary and then I'll go to the next one. Let's do Lingit verbs. So when I'm not sure what a word means that I get language from somebody like this, the first thing I look up is I recognize that we have this suffix here, it, at the end, giving it the meaning of for the sake of. So what comes before that is our verb, our action word. And if you want to look up what it means, start with the last syllable because that's usually the verb root. So now I'm in the online verb database and I'm looking up he. So we look up the verb root. They're all listed by root. And it can mean to run, fall, drop, rise, end, happen, or blow. And the next thing I'm looking for to match what I'm seeing with what I have is the classifier, which is the sound right before the verb root. And we have an S classifier, sahih. So now I'm just looking through these verb themes for one that instead of having a 0 has a s there. So I'm looking for sahih. I see jahih, which is not what we want. Shuhih, that's not what we want. Keep scrolling till I find one that has an S right here. Sahih. And I don't see one. So this is where you get into more advanced material. I'll just do it in front of you quickly. Now I'm gonna look up in the verb dictionary. I'm gonna open that up in my screen. This is the Naish Story Verb Dictionary. And in this one, you can look up by root in the Link It to English section. And I'm looking for he. So I'm going to scroll down to X and click it. And then I'm going to browse through this section of Lingit verb roots until I get to he and see what what I'm looking for is there. Okay, so if you look here, I've looked through these and I found a sahih, but now I'm getting more closer to my actual word. I'm going to look back at what we started with. We also have a ya sound at the beginning, a ya prefix. So I'm also looking for an entry that has the ya, sa, and the he. And here we have a ya, sa, and he. So this is the one I'm looking for. Cause to take place, run, hold, or the one that's relevant to our conversation is celebrate because we came ashore to celebrate Southeast Alaska Native cultures. And so this at my level of learning is how I would look up a word like that I received that I know is correct, but I don't know what it means. That's how you find it. So now we know, looking at this, that what he was saying was, let's celebrate our way of life. Come ashore so that we can celebrate our way of life. And let's say it one more time. So the first two words, yanyikuch,
Nanyikuch.
wuch in,
Uch in.
yanach tusahihit,
Yanach tusichit.
hakusti.
Ha kusti.
Yeah, good. So come ashore so that we can celebrate our way of life together. If our speakers on our boat had relatives in Ak area who were their opposites, this would also be a time for them to acknowledge their opposites. And I thought this would be a good segue for us to talk about that part of Tlingit culture. And I am pulling this information from the beginning Tlingit workbook. And I think Rene describes it well. I myself am not of Tlingit heritage. I'm Athabascan, so I'm relying on his words to teach Tlingit culture. But I think we should read it. It's on page 80, and I'm going to take us there. Under one of these guys. I'm gonna zoom in. Um, and this relates to the clans that we talked about in Huna. So it says Lingit clans are divided into two halves, which are often referred to as moieties. These two sides are Tleich Shungukedi and Tleich Llainedi. Within each moiety, there are many clans, and clan identity is inherited through Hatla Yinanach, or in other words, on our mother's side. These clans use images and connecting narratives as crests, which are often in the form of an animal, mountain, constellation, or supernatural creature. These images are attached to sacred stories that document why a clan uses particular crests. Crests, names, stories, houses, objects, and land are all atu, which literally translates as an owned thing, but within Tlingit culture means a sacred clan owned thing. Atu is an important term within Hakusi, or our way of life. Knowledge of Atu helps solidify understanding of place and belonging, communal ownership and responsibility, and the respect needed to feel the connection between Ha'atuku, our sacred possessions, and Ha'shagun, our ancestors. If something is considered of another clan, remember to not use it or talk publicly about it without that clan's permission. There are many clans, and many of them are related in groups based on migrations, divisions, and expansions. The following lists are not intended to define which clans come from which or which ones have specific ownership of images. Instead, it's a list of known clans, the meaning of their clan name, and the known primary and secondary crests of the clans. They're listed in groups that share a common origin. And then there was a section I wanted. This last part I wanted to read. Starting with understanding these relationships must come at a deeper level than who was first, who was right, or who is true. Instead, we must look at the many ways in which we are related and how those relationships should define our actions. Be careful how you treat your opposites and how and why you use a crest or share a clan's stories. Always carry respect in front of you like a gift that makes the world a better place. So that's just a little bit of guidance from Renee on relationships between clans and amongst people, treating your opposites with respect, and then of course it also prefaces this chart that we've looked at a few times on different clans, their crests, and their houses. So we talked about that. Do you guys have any questions?
I have a random question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever came across an image or a crest of, I think it was a dog spirit?
Not me, no. Did you?
No, I haven't seen one, but in the secondary for Dachloady,
Oh yeah.
it says dog spirit.
Oh yeah.
Wonder what it looked like. Like, I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting. I could ask I could ask one of my friends I know who is Dakluedi. But she's from which house? She's from Teslin Daisling Kwan. Dog spirit. I don't see it in the houses. Yeah, good. Thanks for asking. I'll keep my eye out for it. Okay, so a review from last week that we'll just swarm up with. Some of the other feelings we talked about besides just Tleshwasa for I'm fine. We talked about being hungry, thirsty, wanting water, and then being full of liquid, like if you've had enough soup or water. So let's practice our pronunciation. Number one, I'm hungry. Achit yan uaha.
Ityan uaha.
Uh, and then I'm thirsty. Chet shawakuch.
Chet shauchuch.
Uh, if you say I want water, you would say hin achtuwasigu.
Hin ach tuasigu.
And then I'm full of liquid. Chet shawachit.
Chet shawachlik.
Those are some of the feelings we can have besides just saying I'm fine. Other feelings that we started to talk about are this one is a review. Repeat after me. Tleshwasa.
Lechwasa.
Just means I'm fine or nothing's wrong. Next one, maybe I'm like slightly better, more positive. Ach tuwu yake.
Ach tuwu yake.
Or if you're sad, ach tuwu yanik.
Ach tuwu yanik.
Or if you're feeling strong and brave, like if someone encourages you and now you're feeling pretty good, ach tuwu litzin.
Ach tuwu litzin.
So again, tleshwasa.
Lechwasa.
Ach tuwu yake.
Ach tuwu yake.
Good. Ach tuwu yanik.
Ach tuwu yanik.
Ach tuwu litzin.
Ach tuwu litzin.
Good. Let's go down to our dialogue about feelings. So we have a couple dialogues that include our feelings, and we'll practice them. So one of them, person A asks their friend, "How are you?" And person B says, "I'm sad." And then they say, "Oh, my precious thing, why are you so sad?" And he says, "I'm lonesome." And then they say, "Poor." And this is just a short dialogue, so let's practice the pronunciation. You can copy each line after me. Wasa iati.
Wasa iati.
And then I'm sad. Ach tuwu yanik.
Ach tuwu yanik.
Oh, my precious thing, you would say, achadi.
Achadi.
And then ask them why they're sad. Wanach sawe ituwu yanik.
Wanach sawe ituwu yanik.
Yeah, so these first two words mean why is that? So let's practice just that part. Wanach sawe.
Wanach sawe.
Yeah, and then you're sad. Ituwu yanik.
Ituwu yanik.
Why are you so sad? That's what they're asking. And person B says, I'm lonesome. Chatwulletish.
Chatwulletish.
And person A feels sorry for them, so they say, Ishan.
Ishan.
Yeah. Do you want to practice it and you be person B and I'll be A? Okay. Wasa iati.
Ach tuwu yanik.
Achadi. Wanach sawa ituwu yanik.
Chatwullitzi.
Ishan.
Did I say that? Ooh.
This one is Chatwulletish.
Chatwullitish. Okay.
Yeah, good. And then let's switch roles. So you be person A now.
Wasa iati.
Ach tuwu yanik.
Ach ati. Wanach sawe it ua yanik.
Chatwulletish.
Ishan.
Good. Do you have any questions on that one?
Thanks.
Sound good. Um, we did these. So last class we picked four feelings that we just reviewed, and then we started to make a dialogue using them. So we have I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I want water, and I'm full. And so we started building this dialogue together, and let's repeat each line after me for review. So the first one, wasa iati.
Wasa iati.
And then person B, this time they're hungry, so they say, ach yan uaha.
Ach eat yan uaha.
And we found a line that says, well, what do you want to eat? And let's do two words at a time. Dasa,
Dasa.
ituwasigu,
It uasigu.
yechaye.
Yihaye.
Good. So, what is it that you want to eat? And then they are hungry for salmon, so they say, Chat ach eat uaha.
Chat ach eat uaha.
So now where we left it off is what does person A say? Person B told them they're hungry for salmon. So let's look in our resource in the phrase books and see what we come up with. So again, if you go to clinkitlanguage.com under beginning materials, you can scroll down and find our phrase book and our audio CD. So the first one is Lingit Class. And we're going to open that and go to the section about food. And so we found this line and pulled it straight from the book. I'm hungry for salmon. And so now we need to see what the first person might say to them in response. So we're in the section called cooking, eating, and talking about food. Hopefully person A can come up with a solution for their friend being hungry for salmon. So if we scroll through here, do you see any lines that we could use?
You could change let's cook trout. Let's cook.
Oh yeah, good idea. So here we have a line, let's cook trout. Let's practice it. Chwat gachtus I. And so,
Tusi.
good. So I'm assuming that the first word is trout because I know that the second word means let's cook it. If you're unsure, you can always check in the dictionary. So I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to look up kwat in the dictionary to confirm that this means trout. So I'll go in the dictionary and type in kwat. I'm going to mute you, Kuwa, because there's just a little bit of background noise. But it's good to see you. Yak satini. What? See. And so I typed in "quat" in the search bar of my dictionary, and sure enough, "quat" means trout. So this is a good example of how you can change the noun of a sentence to fit your meaning. If you know that "quat gachtus I" means let's cook trout, you can swap out trout for salmon by just taking out "quat" and putting in "chat." So let's type this in gachtus I. Gachtus I. And then I need to put the word for salmon here, which we know is chat. I'm just going to copy it down. And it means let's cook salmon. So repeat this line after me, this last one. Chat gachtus I. And so I'm gonna scroll through. I think that's a good dialogue on its own. How are you? I'm hungry. What do you want? Salmon. Let's cook salmon. It's pretty simple. It's something that you can memorize and practice at home. I'm just gonna, out of curiosity, scroll through and see if there's anything I would potentially add. Let's cook trout. We have we're gonna cook trout. Other things they might be saying to each other. What are you cooking? I'm cooking fish. It's boiling. It smells good. It's beginning to smell good. These are things we can use in our future dialogues for reference. I'm gonna make fry bread. They're baking bread. It's lunchtime. I think this is good. I think our dialogue is good. Okay, so let's do I'll be person A and you guys can be person B. Wa sa iati. Oh, you're muted, Kaya. Wa sa iati.
Ach eat yan uaha.
Da sa itu wasagu yechaye.
Chet ach I uaha.
Chad gachtus I. Pretty good, huh? Okay, you want to be person A? Go.
Wasa iati.
Ach itian uaha.
Dasa itua sigu ich
Chad dachit uaha.
chat gach tsu I.
Okay, good. This last word is repeat after me. Gachtus I.
Gach tuts I.
Good. Yeah, that means let's cook it. So that's our conversation. So we did one on I feel fine, one on I'm sad, one on I'm hungry. So we're starting to broaden the things that we're able to talk about. Let's do a short review of sipping hot liquids, and then I'll take you to a video and let's just listen to an elder speaking for the last few minutes of class. So, sipping hot liquids has its own verb. You use a different word for I'm sipping a hot liquid than the one you use for a cold liquid. And so, right now, we're gonna review what we talked about for sipping a hot liquid. So, if you're asking someone, what are you sipping? You would say, repeat after me, Da sa ihlug.
Dasa ichluch.
And if you're sipping coffee, which is kahwe, you would say, repeat after me, kahwe chalug.
Kachwe chachluch.
Okay, good. So other options, I'm sipping soup, tahini chalug.
Tachini chachluch.
And then this next one down here, I'm sipping tea, chayu chalug.
Chayu chachluch.
And then the last one, I don't know why I put blanks here. I think I meant for this to be a fill in the blank exercise, but we'll look at that later. But kahwe, like I said, is coffee. So let's do kahwe chalug.
Kachwe chachluch.
Ah, okay. Let's practice just using the images. So this one we have soup or broth, which is tahini. So repeat after me, tahini.
Tachini.
And then if I want to say I'm sipping soup, I would say these two words, tahini chalug.
Tachini chachluch.
Yeah, this time I'll ask you, what are you sipping? Repeat this after me. Da sa ihlug.
Dasa ichluch.
And then the response, repeat after me. Tahini chalug.
Tachini chachluch.
So this time I'll ask you the question, this top line, and you can just respond with this bottom line. Tahini chalug. Da sa ihlug.
Tachini chachluch.
Okay, really good. And I'll ask you again. Da sa ihluk.
Chayu chachluch.
Yeah, awe chayu ihluk. Da sa ihluk.
Kechwe chachluch.
Ah, kahwe chaluk.
Kachwe.
Ah. What are you eating? This is starting to relate to our other dialogue. So if I say, what are you eating? I would say, repeat after me. Da sa icha.
Rasa icha.
And then this skip to the bottom line. I'm eating salmon or fish. Chat, chacha.
Chat chacha.
Ah. And so these are different options. If you have a specific type of salmon you're eating, you want to share about it, you could say specifically, I'm eating coho. So let's do the first one. Uk, chacha.
Hluk chacha.
Or if you're eating sockeye, qad, chacha.
Gad chacha.
Yeah, away. Or if you're real lucky and you have king salmon, chacha.
Chacha.
Or if you're eating flounder, zanti, chacha.
Santi chacha.
Okay, good. So let's practice now. I say, what are you eating? Repeat after me. Da sa icha.
Rasa icha.
And then I'm eating coho. Uk, chacha.
Hluk chacha.
Good. And now I'll ask the question and you just respond. Qad, chacha. Da sa icha.
Gat chacha.
Ah. Da sa icha.
Chacha.
Yeah, what? Chacha. King salmon. This is review from another class. Let's do this as our last one. Herring eggs are, repeat after me.
Gauch.
So if you're eating herring eggs, you would say gauch, chacha.
Gauch chacha.
So I'll ask you the question and you say gauch, chacha. Da sa icha.
Gauch chacha.
Okay, good. Okay, that was good review. I want to take you to the video that we worked on of Neithiu Deshit. So Neithiu Deshit was Antonia Jack. She was from Atlin, and she was of the Coqueton clan. And this video that we're studying came from the SHI celebration recordings from 1988. And we've looked at this before in class, but I want to revisit it just so we can close out today by listening to a fluent speaker introducing her song. So let's go there. And she starts at 3:15. And I'm just going to take us to the beginning of her speech and we'll just watch it. I think we'll just watch it for a few minutes. There are no subtitles in this class. One of our projects is to make subtitles, but for today, I just want to watch and just enjoy the way she speaks and listen to the sounds. If you recognize some words or a word, that's great. If not, that's also fine. But let's pay attention to her cadence and her pronunciation.
Mrs. Antonia Jack. Lingit enach kwawe ne siw de sheet yo hat do a sock. Jige was he 18 taku Jack Aslandach. Who do seek away hat ya key?
Should we be hearing
Jige do
something?
seek. Ach isha what ha
Should we be hearing something?
Oh, yeah. Is it not coming through?
No.
It's
not
a
Oh.
little
really.
quiet.
Oh, okay. Let me make sure I have my settings right. Thank you for telling me. if it's just quiet,
I saw you drinking. I was like, maybe she doesn't. Maybe she
well,
doesn't know that game.
yeah, I'm all sitting here enjoying it on my own computer.
I'm not
Shoot.
laughing at you. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you.
You're more than welcome to laugh at me. We have that relationship that I don't I enjoy the attention. Um, okay, I'm gonna play it. The sound sharing option is on, so if it's quiet, I apologize. Um, I'll just play it for a few minutes.
ถ้าคูจะคือตัวซอกชีฟสตีนอยู่อาทันฮัทลักชุกอานักลักชุกอานักขยายที่อัตขวากุดอักนักตะกัดอัตตักอัตเขาดัวอัตจะแค่นักขัดตัวอาทันเกขัดยาที وأنا يسوق عندي نختوني سأسخ نق قاعد قائدك قاقوتي أو أختوتي أقاوة يسوع استخان قاقوت أكلنا خدوا وكار أختيه خسقه يتسيو أكلن دخت يتلاقي سكاقويدا خوا هاندك لسو أي قاقوت هتلا خاصة يختو يك إيه خاخويا خطي يكي
Does that still sound quiet to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, shucks. Okay. I'll try to fix it.
I've been meditating over here. I
Oh,
didn't hear
awesome.
anything. I didn't hear anything. I thought, Tanya, did you
Bummer.
hear something? Did you hear anything, Tanya? Oh, you did. Oh, okay. I've been zenning out over here. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't hear anything.
Okay. I knew I better stop it because I was like, if she can't hear anything, then this is a lot of quiet time. I will try to figure it out so that I get the audio tuned in. It can be tricky over Zoom. Actually, what I'll do is give you guys the link and put it in the chat so that you can at least listen to it on your own. Uh, and then that way, when we work on it together for our transcription, you'll be able to check it out. And I'm going to open up our transcription project. But for your reference, her speech, Antonia Jack's speech, starts at time mark 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So 3:15 is where you want to scroll to if you're trying to get right to her speech. And
I have a
so,
quick question. I could hear it was quiet, but I could hear the audio. I heard her mention Cluckshoe, and I was wondering if that's listed in the book, if that's a traditional name or if there's another version of that. That's something I was
oh,
thinking about.
good one. I'll have to, I don't even know how to spell it. I wasn't listening for that and I didn't catch it.
I can spell. I'll spell it in the chat.
Okay,
This is like
awesome.
I don't know if this is like the English version or this is how they spell it.
Okay, click shoe. I know she's talking about Atlan. At one point, she says, "Tleinachue Atlan kiechadeti." I'm the only one. I'm just one person at Atlan. And I have to listen again to catch the whole context. But I don't see Cluckshoe in the book, but let's look in the dictionary. See if we can get closer to Cluckshoe. So while that's searching, no, it doesn't pop up. I'm guessing it's related to Tlak On or somewhere near there. So the next place I would look in the beginning Tlingit workbook is under bookmarks, and I'm gonna go to the section on names, place names. So under how are you called, there's a section Tlingit Anikasaku, names on Tlingit land. So let's kind of scroll through and just see if we happen to find it. So we have Tlak-on. Is it a place near Tlak-on?
Sort of. Here in Haines, Cluckwan's 22 miles up the highway, and then Cluckshoe's in Canada. I think it's about 120 miles from Haines. It's on the way
Oh.
to Haines Junction.
Oh.
I think
Interesting.
Canada has an interactive map that has different names you can listen to.
Something I
Oh,
wondered though, and when I've been to Canada, sometimes at certain places, you'll see posters of the different languages showing how to say things. Because there's other groups of First Nations people, I don't know who named what or that sort of thing.
yeah. Interesting.
Because in my mind, it's like it's kind of Tlingit territory, but it's also Champagne Asiatic, which is like a Southern Shoshone and stuff like that, which I don't know any of that language.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of cool cultures right close to each other right there. Interesting. Okay, thank you for bringing that up. I'm just bringing us to the map that has the clans, the Kwan areas. And I'll see if I can get a reference for where to look. Because we have the area she says is Atlin. And she's talking about her dad being from Atlin. So it would be in this area, this Dakka, which is interior, and Adagigayach. Huh. Okay, good question. So what I'll do is put a no, and then we know what to look for. Cluckshoe. Awesome. Do you have the link to the interactive map in Canada?
I'm looking for it now.
Okay, cool. While you're doing that, I'm just gonna quickly show you guys the transcription project we started. I just like to keep bringing up Elon so that my goal is for you guys to start to get familiar with using Elon, because as you advance in Tlingit, you can start to contribute to at least the groundwork of transcription. And so we're gonna go, I'm in Elon, I'm gonna open recent file, and I have this project of Neithiu Dashit already started. Where did it go? Open. Ooh, there it is. And we probably won't get very far with this today, but I'll just bring it up so that we can work on it on Thursday. And so far, what we have is that we've segmented where she was talking. And then we started a new tier for translation, but we can type in the section that she says, what she says in that area in Tlingit. That's the first step. So if I click this section that says Chief City, and I can click it and play it.
Chief Satin.
Did that audio come through? Yeah? Okay. So that's where she says Chief City, and then the next step would be to copy this segment down to the translation and type in he was a chief. And this is a great way to study audio if you're wanting to advance your language. It is a little bit advanced, but if you start just doing your best, then in the process of doing something that's above your skill level, you're going to start to grow and get used to it and learn how to look up words. This is a big part of my language study. Any questions before we go for the day? Comments?
I just have a quick thing. I just looked up the Cluckshoe thing online and I found something. It looks like it is derived from a Tlingit name. This is from Yukon Geographic. So this looks legit. It says it's from Nuksha, end of the Coho run or end of Coho,
Oh,
which makes sense. I don't know if anyone else has been there. There's a really small stream there, and there's a few fish, but as compared to down here, there's not a lot of fish. So,
Oh,
so it
interesting.
sounds because I've always heard people kind of because of the cluck part, but the name is very different from like Calc on for Cluck One.
Yeah.
Because there was a village that used to exist near Cluck One at 19 miles, so just 3 miles away, and people used to say it was called Cluck Two, which is not true at all. But that's a different story.
Oh, awesome. I'm gonna listen to this again and see if I can isolate where she says that, and try to prepare it for our next class so that we can transcribe it. Geez, thank you. And that is that from the area you're from?
Which part?
Cluckshoe?
Sort of. I do have ancestry from Canada. I grew up in Haines and stuff. I've never lived up there, but I do have relatives up there and stuff. But I've never studied it, so I've always been interested. I'm part Southern Shoshone, which is First Nations in Canada. But I don't know the language or anything like that, or much of the history. But that's like another bordering tribe to, Tlingit and Alaska and stuff like that. So I've always kind of wondered about that because we have places like Deschines, Teslin, and stuff that have clear Tlingit names and areas up there, but some of them are less obvious. So I'm not sure which ones are considered Tlingit and which ones are not, or they're shared, so to speak.
Yeah. Huh. That's awesome. Goodness, geez, thanks for sharing. So for next class, if you guys want to watch the video and don't put too much pressure on yourselves to know every word or start transcribing, but we'll continue studying Nihyu Dashit's words, see if we can figure out the Klukshu part, and just do a small segment of it. Okay, I'll see you guys on Thursday, same time, same place.